Nodira Sadikova, Financial IT, and here with us, Gerain Jones, VP Marketing at Money 2020. Today is like, for the first time, everything for the first time for me. Like event, Amsterdam, like lovely people. And I'm super passionate about different kind of fintech insights, to be honest. And I've seen massive projects here, massive titles, starting from the institutional clients and ending with like some kind of a small prominent fintech that just like has considerable amount of growth within a short period of time. This is like impressive. So please, can you shed a light about Money 2020, how you are handling this? This is quite impressive, to be honest, like right, energy wise as well.
Oh, thanks, Nodira. That's lovely. And thank you for having me. I think for me, I think it's my sixth Money 2020 in 2 years. I joined the business a couple of years ago. And I think the energy that you just talked about is so important. I mean, we try very hard to give sort of a structure to the event and manage how the flow goes from one place to another. I think we've extended the floor plan again this year and made a few changes, and we think it's come off because I think, as you say, you've got zoned areas where startups can really show off their fantastic wares, but also some of the big institutional partners that we have, like Visa, MasterCard, JP Morgan, can really show off what they've got to give to the industry. And for us, it's about convening that incredible global ecosystem and giving them the perfect conditions to sort of grow their businesses.
Yeah. So yeah, that's impressive. But also we can see the lots of consolidation on the market, right? So new trends are coming. Some trends are just leaving the market. Can you kindly tell us about the new trends like now coming and that you can see it like at Money 2020? This is like really interesting to get this.
I think it's less for me about technology trends this year. I know that sounds sort of odd to say, but actually I think the biggest trend I've seen is the partnerships coming to the fore. There have been so many partnerships announced this year. I mean, even here in the press lounge yesterday, we went at a lunch where I think MasterCard and Bunk announced a partnership. We had Papara and Drive Wealth announcing a partnership that I think is going to enable Papara's 20 million customers to access the US market for the first time. I think we've seen partnerships like the Visa partnership announced yesterday as well. So there's an incredible kind of energy to that. I think we're all about creating those conditions for people to build those really strong partnerships. And I think because we go right around the world, because I mean, obviously we have 3 shows. We're in Asia, we're in Europe now, and we'll be in Vegas in October. I think it gives businesses the opportunity to start conversations in one place, expand on those conversations in the next part of the journey, and then hopefully close those deals or accelerate those deals when they come to the final show in the cycle.
As this is a community-driven event, Money 2020 in the heart of Europe. So what you're going to talk about the, let's say, in Asian trends, because you just came back so recently from Asia.
Well, we had our first Asia show in Bangkok about 6 weeks ago now. We went to Thailand. It was a new place for us, an entirely new venue. Queen Sirikit was just stunning, so good. And I think the trends that we really saw in that market are a function of the market. You know, Asia is quite different to, I think, Europe and the States. You know, those markets are quite homogenous in a lot of ways. You know, there's a single currency here in Europe. In Asia, it's a vast sort of mix of markets, mix of currencies, mix of cultures. And that has an influence on how people interact with money. And I think, you know, 70% of Asia is underbanked. And so the things that we saw in Asia were a focus on RTP, real-time payments, a focus on cross-border, and again, that focus on collaboration. I mean, one of the things that I found most exciting was we were able to convene 5 of the region's most exciting regulators from 5 different markets. They had a closed-door session where they talked about collaboration and creating the conditions for growth. And I think if we can continue to do that, where we bring, you know, not just big brands and exciting banks and fabulous startups, but also the regulators who set the rule sets together to innovate together, I think it will help that region and the rest of the world to progress.
So technically you are saying that all of those emerging fintech like startups in the European market can actually, create some kind of a partnerships like with Asian market, US market, right? So
So I think partnership for us is such a core part of what it is to be at Money 2020, of what it is to be part of this ecosystem. I think one of the partnerships we saw in Asia was JP Morgan, an enormous institution, coming together with Capricorn Bank, a regional institution, to create that ability to partner on payments in the region. And I think what we also see is small businesses or smaller businesses finding bigger partners and finding that sort of Venn diagram where their skills, their experiences, their customers match the needs of the other customers. I was actually at a dinner night before last with merchants. And I was talking at the table with a bunch of people who were talking fundamentally about how can we create more conditions for partnership and also opportunity. I mean, at my history, many years ago, I was a loyalty consultant in the world of retail and merchants. And in that space, there's so much opportunity for loyalty companies, I think for payments companies, I think for banks and the merchants themselves to come together to create new innovations. And it's yet another space that this industry and this ecosystem can help to grow.
Yeah. So based on my experience, Money 2020 is like a bridge between institutionals and the fintech startups. You're just like creating and connecting the dots, so between them.
Yeah, I think it's a lovely summary. I mean, this is your first time,
yes.
Right? So for you to say that, having been here for the first time, is wonderful to hear, because it's exactly the sort of thing that we're trying to create, is those conditions for people to feel like there are no barriers to partnership. There are no barriers to growth. There's just opportunity to connect, to network, to, in effect, build stronger and deeper and more fun relationships. I mean, there are other conferences, but I think people enjoy themselves more here.
So, and this shows Money 2020, there are actually three main topics. So it's about digital currencies, AI, and also metaverse. Can you also highlight these topics as well that you chose for this year?
So our overall show theme is human by machine. I mean, you can see some of the X's around you here. And human by machine for us is, I think, the narrative for quite a long time around AI has been, it's coming for our jobs. It's going to disrupt the market in a damaging way. I think we take the position that actually there's an opportunity there for the incredible humans that we bring together at Money 2020 to leverage the power of AI for good in the industry, to create more opportunity in the industry, to create growth that helps human beings rather than hinders. And I think that's where human by machine comes from. It's that idea that it's the human beings here in this room today, tomorrow, yesterday, who can take advantage of fabulous innovation in technology. I mean, we ourselves, we've sort of launched our own AI speaker on our stage, the Nature stage. And Ayana, I think, was interviewed today, but we're in this position where we're trying to innovate in our experience. We're trying to innovate with technology. We're trying to live our own thematics through our own experience. I think the other thing I should talk about a little bit is, because it's a personal favorite of mine, is this customer universe of one topic that we're focusing on throughout the agenda over these 3 days. I think the customer universe of one talks to what I was talking about earlier, the need to focus on the customer, the need to focus on the fact that we've innovated at pace in this industry, created all of these fabulous products. But actually, I mean, if you look in your Apple Wallet on your phone, if you've got an Apple phone, or in your Google Wallet on your phone, there are so many products now. And I think there's a need now for the industry to go, let's think about the customer again. Let's simplify and let's create that value back at that customer lens, because there's just a bit too much going on for somebody like my mother, who's in her 70s now, but needing to get into the world of digital payments because that's the way it's gone.
That's really impressive. So can you tell me, please, last question. So what is next for Money 2020?
Well, I think what's immediately next is a short break. And then we go we go to Las Vegas in October. Really excited about Vegas. I think this year we've got some really exciting innovations coming to the show that I'm not going to go through in a lot of detail. But one of the things I can talk about is, one of the things that we focus on is growth. And the world of fintech, I think we cover really well here. You look at the topics we cover, the trends that we're able to go into on our stages in detail. One thing we haven't done, I think, as much as we think we should do, is invest in this idea of growth. And I think we've got a lot of marketers here who support that growth, who drive that growth for the world of fintech. And our sister company, I don't know if everybody knows this, is the Cannes Lions. Cannes Lions is the preeminent show in advertising and marketing. They have the Walk Trends business that sits inside that organization. We have Contagious now, that's a recent acquisition. So we believe that the combination of Money 2020 and Cannes and Walk and Contagious can really create value for that marketing community who are driving growth in the world of fintech. And so you should expect to see more of that. We're launching something called Marketing Wednesday on the Wednesday in Vegas this October, which will focus on this idea of growth and how marketing in B2B in the world of fintech helps do that.
Thanks a lot for your insightful feedbacks. To be honest, I'm super passionate about all kind of fintechs. The content that we created here is like super high profile for me. And I can actually say that I'm the member now of the fintech driven community, Money 2020. And definitely I'm going to join next time as well. Gerain Jones, VP Marketing, Money 2020.